Welcome back, everybody. This is the continuation of the complete guide to the mobile suit, and I was aware that last video's video was it was a bit too loud on the combat parts, so my apologies. I did fix it on this version, so no ear blasting, no music too higher than my voice. So yeah, GM was basically a 3 out of 10 if you couldn't hear that part, or if you clicked out. And here is the counterpart to it, the Zaku 2. I'll tell you right now, they are both basically the same. I made 3 builds that are basically just mirror each other. This is the defense build with a little bit of damage. This is a full DPS build, no team support, just all damage. You can switch this weapon out for the normal Zaku machine gun, but I wouldn't recommend it just because this is a lot slower and you want the damage right here. It's also reloads faster, so you are going to get more damage in the long run with this if you fully commit to the damage build. And I don't really think there's a need for a third build because there's not really any other options for it. You're basically just going to use these two. At least that's my opinion, what it should be. You could put a melee build, I guess, but it's not really a melee suit, so that's the level 5 one, the only usable one, you could say. Basically the same as the GM, basically all the same skills, I think. Yeah, you're not really going to use the 250 one, never going to use 200, 150, 100, so I'm only going to cover the level 5 and some of the level 4. Here's the level 4 build, basically almost the same. I would switch this for the rocket, I don't know why it's there. But yeah, there you go, rocket, sword, a little bit of defense with melee and thruster parts. But yeah, I'll show you a little bit of gameplay. Hopefully it won't blast your eardrums like it did in the last video. But yeah, the Zaku 2. Actually, let me change it to its original colors. Little cool thing for anybody that didn't know, you can actually get out the antenna and put it back on. Antenna 1 is just 100 plus aura, so might as well leave it on. Alright, here we are in the training field. This is the tank build that I put on. It basically plays the exact same as the GM, rocket down slice, and the whole buzzabalooza, you know. That's basically the way you want to play it. I'll try to do a full combo here, see if we can pull off. The damage is pretty decent for what it is, but this is the training dummy, so results may vary. One extra down slice, pretty good damage for what it is. The cracker shot is decent. It's good for chip damage, so if you're really out of ammo, no other options, you can throw the cracker, decent damage. It's a ranged weapon, so if you want the full range build, the other build I made, the cracker will do a lot more. No dodge, no evasion. A product of its time, just like the GM. So yeah, that is the Zaku 2. Nothing to really write home about. A product of its time, I keep saying that, but that's basically what it is. Here's the counter, I guess. There you go. And we will check the DPS build and see, and then I will give my final thoughts on the Zaku 2. Alright, here is the machine gun, full DPS build. We will probably do a lot of damage. Oh yeah, that is a lot of damage, 227 per hit. And then the reload is extraordinarily fast, so you can just get back at it. The cracker will also take a lot more. You have 1500 instead of the 13,000. That is really good and solid. Unfortunately, the melee damage is not as good, I believe. I missed that. Thanks for remote play. Let me just disable destruction just in case. One slice just like the GM, but that is really decent damage. It's still decent damage. It's not like it changed that much. But yeah, the DPS build is really solid. A lot of people will be running ballistic defense though, so it's not as good as the GM's beam DPS build, because not really anybody runs beam defense at 300, at least the majority. So yeah, if you thought about using a full DPS build, no team support, this is a pretty solid build actually. If you can aim anyway, this gun isn't really good at aiming, so just be wary of that. But yeah, decent DPS build, and I will now give my final thoughts on the Zaku 2. So final thoughts on the Zaku 2. It is almost a 7-year-old suit, just like the GM. It can barely hold out its own these days, if anybody even picks it. Not really anybody uses these suits, even at 300. There is so many better options. But if you for some reason wanted to use it or never thought about using it until now, these builds I would recommend if you want to. I rank these things by 3 categories: damage, survivability, and meta presence. Meta presence, just like the GM, is 0 because nobody uses these suits, so I can't really put them on the meta at all. Damage is actually pretty solid. You can get some pretty good damage out of this. The GM is basically the same thing, but I don't know, the Zaku 2 feels like it does a little bit more extra damage. I think because of its cracker ability instead of Vulcan's. You could argue which one is better. They're both basically the same suit, but they just do 2 things different. But I don't know, Zaku 2 feels like the damage is just slightly bit better, just very slightly. I gave the GM a 3, so I will give the Zaku 2 I'll give it a 3 too, because a lot of people run ballistic defense and this thing is pure ballistic, so yeah. Damage is 3, meta is 0, survivability is actually a 4, just because you can get some good defense out of this. Actually, I'll give it a 3. I think I give the GM a 4. GM has no emergency evasion, but it does have a shield. The Zaku 2 has none of those, but it is slightly faster, I believe. Slightly. I would check it, but I have so many suits here that it would take a while, so not sure how accurate that is, but it just feels slightly bit faster, but its survivability is a lot less because no shield and not as tanky, I believe. So 3 on survivability, 3 on damage, and 0 meta. Overall, I would give this suit a 3, same as I did the GM. They're almost 7 years old. What can I say? They're basically vanilla, bare bones. They don't hold up anymore. But for some reason, you wanted to use them. There you go. Anyway, that's about it for the Zaku 2. I think I will do the OG Goof next. So look out for that. Nah, I'll do the Zaku one. It was the go back in the day. So I'll do the Zaku one next. And yeah, stay tuned for that. If you ever want to use the Zaku 1, it was really good back in the day. Those were the days. But yeah, that's about it for the Zaku 2. 3 out of 10. And that's about it. Take care.